And as promised, we're back with X.J. Kennedy, poet, educator, all sorts of things. But there's another lesser-known facet of Joe's career that I want to get into and probably either introduce or expose, depending on your point of view. And that is X.J. Kennedy, the lounge singer. Because every once in a while he brings out a poem that will double as one of the classic barroom ballads of our time. And I think the time has come for that.
Oh dear. Well, this is called In a Prominent Bar in Secaucus One Day, and you can sing it to the tune of Sweet Betsy from Pike. It is a story of a woman whose mind is beginning to go, and she imagines a glorious past that couldn't really have been. The first stanza and the last are some other voice, and everything in between is this aging woman's song. Mm. Okay, well, here we go.
I think I dated her, but I don't want to talk about that.
All right. In a prominent bar in Secaucus one day rose a lady in skunk with a top-heavy sway, raised a knobby red finger, all turned from their beer, while with eyes bright as snow crust, she sang high and clear. Now comes her song. Now who of you'd think from an eye-load of me that I once was a lady as proud as could be? Oh, I'd never sit down by a tumble-down drunk if it wasn't, me dears, for the high cost of junk. All the gents used to swear that the white of me calf beat the down of the swan by a length and a half. In the kerchief of linen I caught to me nose, there never fell snot, just a little gold rose. I had 7 gold teeth and a toothpick of gold. Me Virginia cheroot was a leaf of it rolled, and I'd light it each time with 1,000 in cash. The bums used to fight if I flicked them one ash. Once the toast of the Biltmore, the belle of the Taft, I would drink bottled beer at the Drake, never draft, and dine at the Astor on Salisbury steak, with a clean tablecloth for each bite I did take. In a car like the Roxy, I'd roll to the track, with a steel guitar trio and a bar in the back. And the wheels made no noise, they'd turn over so fast. Still it took you 10 minutes to see me go past. When the horses bowed down to me that I might choose, I'd bet on them all, for I hated to lose. Now I'm saddled each night for me butter and eggs, and the broken threads race down the backs of me legs. So let you hold in mind, girls, that your beauty must pass like a lovely white clover that rusts with its grass. Keep your bottoms off bar stools and marry you young, or be left an old barrel with many a bung. For when time takes you out for a spin in his car, you'll be hard-pressed to stop him from going too far, and be left by the roadside for all your good deeds. 2 toadstools for tits and a face full of weeds. All the house raised a cheer, but the man at the bar made a phone call and up pulled a red patrol car. And she blew us a kiss as they copped her away from that prominent bar in Secaucus, NJ.
Hot ziggity. Well, Joe, all I can say is Mel Torme better look to his laurels. because you could give him some very stiff competition, especially in a bar. As a matter of fact, that was the poem that first made me pay attention to your writing.
Oh.
I had found it in an anthology when I was in high school somewhere.
Well, you're a man of rare discrimination.
I would hope. Otherwise, I don't think I could keep this job. Now, you also have a book in that pile of more recent work.
Well,
I was thinking of Dark Horse.
Yes.
Or when did that come out? Or am I misreading the
yeah,
copyright date?
it came out in 1992. Mm-hmm. I could read you a short sample.
That'd be nice.
Here's a poem called Veterinarian that's just an attempt to show the life of a woman veterinarian. Terrified bleat, bellow and hoofbeat thrash, she quiets with black bag. Working alone, on hands and knees, a carpenter of flesh, she joins together staves of broken bone, mends fences for the bloodstream that would run out of the raving dog, the shattered horse, her hands as sure as planets in their course. Now prestidigitates before the wide-eyed children without trying to, intent on tugging forth a live calf from the bride of the bull, bandages the brood mare's ligament. Now by her labor arteries are bent, grappled, tied fast like saplings under duress. She murmurs words to soothe the languageless. Leaves like a plowman, order in her wake, home for a hot tub and a single feast of last night's pizza, watching cold dawn break, knowing that some will live, a few at least. Though foam-jawed, wild-eyed, that eternal beast, annihilation with perpetual nay, takes worlds like ours with water twice a day.
That is one lucky veterinarian. How come she doesn't get a hoof in the shins like in the James Herriot stories?
Well, she might. That might be part of the job. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When you teach, do you teach workshops or literary surveys or?
Well, I quit teaching 20 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and except I do still do sometimes workshops and do a class at some college for a day. Or, that happens.
What sort of guidance do you give the aspiring poets?
Write as much as you can and throw away as much as you can and print as little as possible.
Listen, when he talks, I listen. There's no getting around that. All right. I want to get back to the kids' poems, if I may, because we don't get a really good children's poet too often. There are more brats, I believe, lurking about.
Oh yeah, there are brats, all kinds of them. In fact, I have 3 books of brats. Brats,
Yeah.
Fresh Brats, and Drat These Brats. I don't know how much longer I can go on with this.
Well, there is room for a brat pack.
Would you like a sample?
Surely.
Okay, this is about a brat named John. Very short. John, while swimming in the ocean, rubbed sharks' backs with suntan lotion. Now those sharks have skin of bronze in their bellies, namely John's.
Why, of all the ungrateful so-and-sos, tell us more.
More brats?
Sure.
Okay, well, this is a brat named Vince, who took a jar of bugs to church with him.
A kid after my own heart.
Vince released a jar of vermin during Mr. Drowser's sermon on how cheerfulness is catching. Soon the whole next pew was scratching.
Yeah, I see what you mean, man.
They're just short stories with quick endings.
And you've got limericks, too, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that's the latest book called Uncle Switch, illustrated by John O'Brien, who's an artist for the New Yorker. And Uncle Switch is a character who does everything backwards.
Yeah. Could you say a word about the structure of a limerick? Because among the people I know, no form is so horrendously butchered as the limerick.
Indeed. Well, the limerick is 5 lines long, and it rhymes boom, boom, bing, bing, boom. And it's got a kind of a bouncy beat. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum, ba-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. And you try to tell a story in those 5 lines.
Was Edward Lear the first person?
Yeah, Edward Lear, I don't know whether he quite invented the limerick, but he certainly made it famous. Yeah.
Can you give us a little sample?
Sure. Okay, Uncle Switch, the backwards character.
Let me just emphasize, these are kids' limericks?
Yeah, these are for kids,
right.
Or anybody. Crack of dawn. Uncle Switch milks the pup. Walks the Jersey cow. Sloshes a cup full of hot exercise. Reads 2 fresh eggs and fries. All the morning news, sunny side up.
Sounds like an old boss of mine, as a matter of fact. Let's do some more.
Okay.
Because it's so rare we get good limericks these days.
Well, let's see if I show a picture. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
Uncle Switch's apple tree. Uncle Switch has this tree whose routine is as mixed up as any I've seen. Apples ripe, red and round, jump right up off the ground, fasten fast to a branch, and turn green. I had one limerick that John O'Brien said he didn't know how to illustrate, so that didn't go into the book. But I still
do you remember?
Liked it. Yeah. Happy birthday, dear uncle, we shout. You have presents to give us, no doubt? With a sugary swish of cake making a wish, all the candles blow Uncle Switch out.
Whew. That's a heck of a thing. All right. Let's see. There was one other book I wanted to cover there, The Ghastlies, Goops, and...
Oh, yeah. This, too, is another kid's book.
Yeah.
Ghastlies, Goops, and Pincushions. Would you like a sample?
Certainly.
Okay. This is a love poem. I read this a while ago to a 4th grade class in Cambridge, Mass. And when I told them that it was a love poem, all the boys went, "Oh, yuck! Oh, a love poem! Oh, God!" So I had to explain that this is a love affair between 2 creatures who probably wouldn't be lovers in real life. At the end of the poem, you find out what these 2 lovers are. It's called What We Might Be, What We Are. If you were a scoop of vanilla and I were the cone where you sat, if you were a slowly pitched baseball and I were the swing of a bat, if you were a shiny new fishhook and I were a bucket of worms, if we were a pin and a pincushion, we might be on intimate terms. If you were a plate of spaghetti and I were your piping hot sauce, we'd not even need to write letters to put our affection across. But you're just a piece of red ribbon in the beard of a Balinese goat, and I'm a New Jersey mosquito. I guess we'll stay slightly remote.
I think I got him. X.J. Kennedy, it was a thrill to have you on this program.